So today I'm going to talk to you about the strategies that I use when I'm down by 5 points in a game with only 2 minutes left. This is kind of a tough spot to be in because 5 points, it's 2 possessions, you have 2 minutes left on the clock, and now you may be playing up against a very good team or just a very good defensive team that may not have the type of offense that would be required to win a lot of games. So what I like to do, first off, is to attack the key. So I would run the quick situation plays that I've posted on this channel. I will try and remember to link them in the top comment below. And from there, basically what I would be looking to do is run quick 10-second plays so that I can get some quick, easy points. But I wouldn't be running the ones that would be out in the 3-point line taking those shots. Those would be kind of backup shots. And especially if you have a couple of really good 3-point shooters or just shooters in general, I would be subbing those players in right now. So I would have my two, depending on the team that we're playing against, if they're a bit smaller of a team, I would put both my centers in the game, and then I would have 3 guards who can shoot the ball. That way we have good contrast between height of the team, really tall and really small, not necessarily really small, but smaller and really tall. And then what we would do, even if it's against a taller team, I would still do the same thing. And now, coming down the court, I would be running a lot of plays for those centers. I would be hoping for the team to collapse on them or just have them put up the ball. And I will show you a few plays that I would run as well so that they can just put up the ball, and hopefully that because it's a layup, it's going to go in and that they're good enough to hit those layups. So I'll show you a couple of plays below what I run myself. Again, 2 centers and 3 guards or 3 players who can handle the ball as well as shoot. So as we see right here, if we're up against a man-to-man defense, now what we would have going up against the man-to-man defense, what I would be looking to do is a quick 10-second play. Player 3 setting a screen and player 4 setting a screen to the left side. And now what we're going to have is player 1 using that screen and player 5 using that screen. And we're hoping for player 5 to get a layup. We would have player 4 there for the rebound. We could even have player 3 who can cut down to get that rebound as well. And player 5 would be also following his shot for the rebound. Now, if player 5 isn't open, his man got through and he's still covered, what I would now do is then follow through and have player 3 setting a screen, setting a screen for player 2, and player 2 would then use that screen and pop out towards that 3-point line. Now this is a secondary option. Our first option was shut down where we want the layup. However, we have player 2 shooting. He would be probably one of our better shooters, but we would also have 2 bigs down low to get that rebound, and player 3 could even collapse himself to get that rebound as well, because with this much time left on the clock, it's not much, and we need to get as many offensive rebounds as possible. Now, some teams will rely on the 2-3 zone defense. I've seen it myself, especially with not so advanced teams. The 2-3 kind of hides some of their weaknesses. And what we would have now is, again, very similar. Same play even, where we would have player 1 using player 2 as a screen. Player 5 would then be screening that middle player, and player 4 would be either coming towards the high post or towards the low post, or he can curl down to the low post because player 4 is going to be popping up. Player 4 could even go out towards this mid-range area if he's a good enough shooter, and he could receive that pass, and he should be wide open. Now, offensively, this is one of the plays that I would run. It's very effective at getting a lot of layups, and by getting more layups, when you come back down on defense, this is very important. You need to play very strong man-to-man defense. The other option I use is obviously my own Unbeatable basketball defense book. It's down below as well. But I would be either running a swarm defense if you haven't ran it yet. Swarm defense, again, I'll link that below as well. That's just a video I made a few days ago. And I would be either running a swarm defense, man-to-man, if it's a tight man-to-man, as well as my Unbeatable basketball defense. One of those 3 I would personally run to really kind of stop that team from scoring on us. I would even go as far as running a full court diamond 1-2-1-1 full court press defense, And that would be really good if they're inbounding the ball after you score, because now you're able to stop them and hopefully get a turnover before they get past half. Now, if you made the 2-point shot, you're now down by 3 with about a minute and a half left in the game. You just got a turnover and you're coming back down the court. I would run not necessarily the same exact play as I just showed you. Let me show you the play that I would run. Now, I'm a coach that likes to run the triangle offense, and I run the triangle motion offense. Now that we have a minute and a half left in the game, we're going to have player 1 pass over and cut down towards that low corner. Now, let's say we're playing a man-to-man defense, because generally 99% of the teams you're going to be playing against is probably going to be playing a man-to-man. You're down by 3, you have a minute and a half left. You want to be able to get a nice set shot or a nice open layup, and you've got time to do so. So now what we're looking to do is have player 3 pass down to player 1. That's going to bring player 1 out. And we're going to have player 5. He is going to be now back screening for player 3, who's going to be cutting towards the rim. And we're going to have player 4. He is going to be now setting a screen on player 2's man. And 2 is going to be now cutting towards this low corner. What we're hoping for is player 3 to get that layup. And if there is help defense, or if player 5 sagged off, what we're looking to do now is have player 3 pass out to player 2, who's either going to be taking that 3-point shot, or player 2 could also be cutting towards the net by the baseline for that layup. Depending on what he feels comfortable with, he's going to be getting a shot within that area if player 3 is covered. Now, if we get a 3-point shot, we're all tied up. We're happy. If we only get a 2-point shot, we're still down by 1 with about a minute left. Now, this is the exciting part. What I would now do, back on defense, I would now run something very simple where it would be either a man-to-man. We just ran the swarm, so I don't like to run the swarm defense back-to-back. So I would run either a man-to-man defense or my unbeatable basketball defense, because it tends to cut everything off below that free throw line extended. Now, at the man-to-man, we're going to be really pressuring them, and what I would do is that first pass that they make out of their offense, I would double team that first pass. So the player who was defending the guy who was passing the ball, he's going to leave his man, unless that guy's a lights out shooter, he's going to leave his man, and he's going to be double teaming the player who just received that pass. Now the player, everyone else on the court has to keep in mind who's open, because now we're double teaming a player in man-to-man defense. If they make their shot, there's going to be about 20 to 30 seconds left. And at this point, you're going to be looking at trying to go for a 3-point shot. At least in my books, I usually have at least one player who I can trust to hit that shot if he's open. If you have a player like that, definitely run a play that will get you an open 3-point shot. I'm going to show you a play like that right now. However, if we're coming back down to the court and we're only down by 1 because they missed a shot or they got the turnover, now we can go for an easy layup and have a higher percentage chance of winning. And I wouldn't be waiting until that last second to get that shot off. I would be going for multiple attacks, trying to get the offensive rebound if we miss, that kind of thing. So I'll show you right now a play that I would run, and it's very effective. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check that out. So again, same thing. We're coming back down in the triangle. Again, like I was mentioning, I do run a lot of triangle motion. However, we're going to be swinging it out of the motion this time. So what I would say to my team, if you're running the same kind of playbook as what I like to run most of the time, is triangle motion swing. Or I would just say triangle swing. And what I would have is player 1 passing to 3. He's going to cut down just like before. And what we're going to be looking to do is, instead of having player 1 catch the ball or even receive the ball, we would now have player 2 setting a screen away. Player 4 is going to get that ball, and we're going to have player 2 going down towards that low post. We are now going to have player 1. He's going to be cutting baseline using player 5 and 2, both as a staggered screen, and player 4 is going to take a dribble out towards this side. Player 1 is then going to pop out. He's going to pop out, and he's going to now receive that pass. Now, this is the play for the 3-point shot. So we're going to have player 1. He is going to be going and taking that 3-point shot if you're down by 3. Now you're going to be having player 4 and player 3 crashing the boards, 5 and 2 as well. So you have 4 offensive rebounders, and player 1, I wouldn't have him follow his shot because we have already 4 players down there. I would actually have him follow his shot out towards the free throw line just in case it does bounce off deep. Now, if you are down by 1 and you want to get a layup, this is a very good option for you. I would have player 5 setting a back screen on player 3, and I call this triangle cut, and player 3 is going to now use that screen, and he's going to be cutting towards the rim. If he's open, hit him up. Now, player 5 sometimes sags off, and if he does, that's not going to be open. He's going to clear out to this side of the court. At this time, we're going to now have player 5 setting a screen and roll with player 1. Now, player 1 could go right towards the rim and get a layup, or if player 5 kind of shows too much, player 5 blue will now cut towards the rim, and he's going to be open for that layup. Now, I hope that this strategy helps you. Of course, this is my own strategy that I use because these are the plays that I use myself. However, I hope that they help yourself and kind of take home the strategies that I use, which is try to go for the 2-point shots until you're within 30 seconds and down by 3 or more, where now you're going to need to take a 3-point shot to tie up the game. Now, you could still, some coaches will say that they want to get a layup and a possible and one with 30 seconds left, but I usually have a player that I can trust that can shoot the 3-point shot. Every single year I've coached, I've had at least one player who I can trust to hit a 3-point shot, and that's why I run that strategy. I hope that you have enjoyed. I'll see you guys again later on today for my second video of the day.